Hey, this is Prometheus giving you another defensive tip. This is going to be out of the Cleveland playbook, and it's going to be the 34 Bear. And basically what this is going to be part 2 of that Buck Strong Safety 3 Blitz. Now, you established the edge, and it's actually been very effective for you getting some blitzes, but now your opponent is starting to identify the holes in the defense. He's going to start attacking you in the seams and the flats. What are the adjustments that you can do to go ahead and try to protect you against those holes, the flats, the seams, different areas of the field? Well, there's a couple things you can do. First and foremost, you can go ahead and actually do some coverage adjustments. Now, coverage adjustments are going to be the following adjustments. You'll hit the triangle or the Y button, and basically what's going to happen, triangle or the Y button, and then quick adjust, and then select the item, the player that you want to go ahead and use, and you could put your defender at a flat like that. So one of the things I want to do, I want to go ahead and try to take away the flat reads from my opponent. So I'm going to go ahead and put flats on both sides. And I'll do that like that. They'll look like that. Now, obviously, that's going to be a situation where you're going to be giving up the deep ball against your opponent. But if he's seen cover 3 and he's seen the play out after the play, he's probably not going to go ahead and see that it's going to be something that he can attack. So that's a good adjustment, a very fast and easy adjustment that you can make with this particular blitz, and still have the blitz set up, and you still have the same look. You've got the edge pressure, and you've got another defender out the flat. Other places that you can get attacked on this blitz is going to be in the seams. So what you can do is go ahead and take your linebackers and put them into the seams with deep dropbacks. So you have like kind of a cover 4 look right here, and you still got that edge pressure off the edge to be able to do that. The simplest adjustment is just go into the audibles. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the audibles really quick. You're going to have 2 audibles that you can jump into that are actually going to go ahead and protect the flats. You've got cover 2 invert, which is somewhat of a unique play because those corners on the outside actually go into cover 2, and they go right up the seam, and then you also have yellow zones to take away any kind of seam shots. So that's going to throw your opponent off a little bit. And then you've got a cover 3. You've got flats, you've got 3 yellow zones in the middle, and then you're going to be able to go ahead and take away deep routes too. So that's good if you got your opponent that's actually trying to streak you up. You can do over-the-top coverage, so that's actually going to go ahead and take away those seams and really go ahead and throw coverage all out there, forcing your opponent to go ahead and make a play down the field. And another adjustment too, or another thing that you can jump into, is the pinch Mike O blitz. And as you know, the free safety, the safety that you're actually going to be utilizing, is going to be on a man coverage. So you can still give your opponent the same look, but you've got to make sure you beat foot over to the guy that you're supposed to cover, or you can go ahead and use the strong safety on this particular situations. And then you got the cover 1 hole. I'm not really going to use that unless I'm doing some kind of fag coverage, but for the most part, I'm going to be either jumping into cover 2 invert, cover 3, or the pinch Mike O. So you've got the cover 2 invert, and now you've got guys going out in the flats, and then he's going to force him to go ahead and try to take the underneath. You can do the cover 2 and do underneath coverage, and that should take away any kind of those little check down routes or those drag routes. But really, he's not going to have a lot of time to get those plays off. Because he's going to be so concerned about a lot of those other routes and then the actual pressure off the edge. So cover 3, pretty much the same thing. You've got basically defenders floating all over the area, so it's going to force your opponent to go ahead and make reads on the inside, where before the flat was the area that actually he was used to actually going ahead and trying to attack, or the seams. So you're going to take away those reads that he's actually trying to get before. And let's go into the man blitz. Alright, so this is going to be a very good blitz. You got to make sure that you know where your guy is at. And right here, the blitz throws him off a little bit because he's actually those quick hitch routes that he's been using earlier are no longer there. So you got to make sure that you know who you're going to be following, who you're going to be covering. It might make more sense for you to actually go ahead and utilize one of these guys over here. because that's actually going to be something that might be a weakness on that. So nice move by the running back right there. So these are just ways you can go ahead and try to confuse your opponent with these coverages. It's a good way to go ahead and mix things up. He's going to have to defend against that blitz. He's going to have to block 6, and that's going to actually put you in a driver's seat when it comes to playing defense against your opponent. So if you've got a good base blitz that he's going to have a hard time stopping, it's going to go ahead and open up your entire scheme. To all my subscribers, I really appreciate the support. I hope this Buck strong safety 1 blitz actually will help you with your game. I hope it opens up things a little bit more for you. So to my subscribers, I really appreciate the support. Until next time.